Hi, this is Ana Reese, Fun Stampers Journey Coach. Welcome back to my channel. And in today's video, I want to show you two different ways of using the extravagant stamp set. I call it the double take. I think it's a fun way to use your products and to think of different ways and ideas to use your stamp sets and create a variety of projects. Many of the stamp sets in this video are found in the mini catalog Bloom This Way, which is available through the end of March. Two of the main sets I am using in this project are called Extravagant, which is a set of 6 eggs, and also Expressions, which has a variety of sentiments. I will begin by explaining how I made the golden card. I used the Vintage Notes background set to create the background. And the card base is A2 size using oatmeal cookie cardstock. I begin with a piece of buttercream cardstock measuring 5 by 4 inches. I will be embossing this background stamp, so I need the clear pigment ink and also the gold embossing powder. Whenever I have a piece of cardstock smaller than the stamp that I am using, I like to put the cardstock on top of the stamp rather than the other way around, just to be sure that I get the placement exactly where I need it to be. I am using the Journey heat gun to melt the embossing powder, and this is the end result. These are the 3 ink colors I will be using to sponge the edges of the background piece. I am using the Fusion ink sponges, and actually this is a fourth of one of the sponges, so I have a lot of sponges left. So definitely enough for all the colors to go around. I start with the lighter color, which is oatmeal cookie, then proceed with the medium and then the dark color. I make sure that I also add a little bit of color towards the middle of the cardstock to darken it just a little bit. Next, I continue to stamp the eggs and then to color them. The stamp set has 6 eggs and each one of them has a different design. I used oatmeal cookie ink to stamp the eggs and then continue using the gold re-inker to use to color the inside of the eggs. I am using the Fusion blender instead of water to create a darker color, so I could use with my blender brush. I am also using my shimmer gold color splash to add some shimmer to the eggs as well. To add a few different shades of brown, I also used the oatmeal cookie pad straight to the acrylic block and also the hazelnut color. Both are being used with the Fusion blender to add different shades to the eggs. At this point, I still was not sure where I was going with the coloring of the eggs. I just knew that I wanted to add golds and browns to the design, so I am using a little bit of the gold silk as well, just to add a little bit of texture to the eggs, and then use my heat gun to dry it a little bit faster. And to help me cut these eggs out, I am using the egg die found in the Bloom Benefits in the mini catalog. You get one of these benefits for every $50 that you spend, so it comes in very handy, and the perfect thing is that it matches many of the stamp sets that we have available. You can use it with the stamped images, or as you will see a little bit later, you can also use it on just plain cardstock to form an egg. Here you just saw me using more of the gold color splash just to add a little bit more shimmer to the eggs. After I added the color splash, the eggs needed a little bit flattening, so I put them under the acrylic block while I work on my sentiment. I also sprayed a piece of white cardstock with the gold color splash, and that's the paper that you see here. I also used the egg dye to cut out the egg, and now I'm inking it with oatmeal cookie ink. I also inked the rest of the eggs just to add a little more dimension to them. And for a finishing piece, I'm using the oatmeal cookie satin ribbon to create a bow to the side. All of our ribbons are 20% off for the rest of February, so it's about 5 days left of that promotion. Now it's time to put the card together. I will be using foam squares for 3 of the eggs. One of them will be adhered straight to the background, and the rest will be using the medium foam square for dimension. And to attach the background piece, I also use foam squares. And to add some final touches, I am using the golden marker to add a little bit more detail on the designs of the eggs. I also use my gold silk to add a little bit more shimmer. And now we have our golden card ready. Next, I will show you how I put the pastel card together. I begin with whipped cream, A2 card base, a pineapple smoothie frame, and pool play will be the background. I use the small cloud in the Welcome Baby stamp set. I will be stamping it and embossing it with white embossing powder. Whenever I do a background, I always like to leave some of the images outside of the page. I think it creates a lot of interest and more dimension to the piece. Next, I proceed to stamp and emboss the eggs with white powder and then proceed to color them. I know it's hard for you to see in the video where the stamps are being made, but in real life you're able to see the shapes. These are the inks I am using to color the eggs with, and I am using the same technique as before. I put the ink straight to the acrylic block and then using the blending solution with my blending brush, I apply directly to the eggs and just randomly choose colors and see what colors work better for the patterns. If I want a darker color, then I add less fusion blend solution. If I wanted a lighter color, then I add a little bit more. And once all the eggs are colored, I go back with the darker colors that I have and just kind of go around the perimeter of the egg just to kind of give it a little more dimension. And this is how they look after I die cut them with the egg dye. Next, I will be creating the grass. This is such a fun and easy technique. All you need is green cardstock. In this case, I am using Limeade Splash. And of course, you need your French shears. This will create the effect of the grass. But first, with your regular scissors, create some waves into the cardstock. This will give the grass a little bit more dimension, so it won't look like it's just cut straight across. And then using the French shears, just kind of make sure that you don't go all the way. Just leave a little bit of solid space where you will be applying the adhesive. It takes a little bit of practice, but once you get it, it's very easy to do. I use my adhesive runner to add a few pieces of tape and glued it straight to the blue cardstock. If there's any left over, just go ahead and trim it down. I am using the Spring Bloom mini dies to create a few little flowers using bubblegum, cosmic grape, and lemon drop cardstocks. As you can see, you can die cut many colors at the same time. I decided to use one of each color for my project. Here I am adhering the eggs to the cardstock. The first one goes straight flat to the pool play piece, and then the rest used foam squares to add dimension. I am working on my sentiment, which says "so excited," very cute. And as you can see, I am using two different ink pads to create that multicolor effect. I tap on half of the sentiment with my lighter color ink, and then with a darker color I continue on the other half, and in the middle they overlap, and this creates that tricolor effect. To hold my sentiment, I am using a photo pin element, and I decide to add a little bit of sparkle at the end of the sentiment. Using the pull plate sparkle tape, I added a little piece and cut off any excess. I also added a fishtail to the other end of the sentiment. I also decided to add more of the sparkle tape to the bottom of the card, and I placed it right under the grass. Here I am giving the flowers a little bit of shape using my crease tool. My bloom tool has a stylus for this purpose, but I cannot find it, so the crease tool came to the rescue. Using some sweet candy drops, I added some of the smaller ones to the center of the flower, and they fit perfectly. I used the journey dots to adhere these flowers to the card, and I also used a glue dot to put the photo element behind the eggs to affix the sentiment. Using some foam squares, I add the background piece to the pineapple smoothie frame. And then with my adhesive runner, I added those two pieces to the card base. I added some finishing touches with the journey glaze to the flowers, to some of the shapes of the eggs, and also decided to do one of the clouds with the journey glaze as well. And that completes my pastel card. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial of these two different cards using the same stamp set. And hopefully next time that you have a new stamp, you're going to think about different ways that you can create with it, and perhaps try a new style that you've never done before. If you would like to purchase any of the items that were featured in this video, please go to funstampersjourney.com/Ana Reese. Next time you're on Facebook, come visit my page. I have the latest promotions and events information. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to stay up to date with the latest products and techniques. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, leave a message below, or you can email me to anareese@anareese.com. Take care of yourselves, and I hope to see you next time.